GameStop has continued the rally with 7 green candles now in a row, guys, getting over that 22.49 support level in the past and going ahead and staying over that. We saw a little bit of back and forth today, ultimately closing in the buyer's favor. So should we be expecting this continued movement to levels like 24.45 and the ceiling being that $27 level, getting back above there in position to go ahead and retest some of those previous highs? Or are the sellers going to step in here as we are a little bit indecisive? All right, guys, trending over to the weekly time frame, it's definitely no secret that GameStop's a very volatile stock, meaning it has these big swings up, these big swings down. But recently, guys, in the more recent price action, over around a year and a half of price action, guys, we've seen price actually kind of chill out a bit, right? We don't see this as aggressive approach, going to the upside super quick, going to the downside super quick. We've seen price kind of chill out, guys, comparative to the past, quickly on the monthly, seeing that huge surge in that 2020 time period, going all the way to 120, came back in kind of a descending wedge pattern, boom, break out of that. And then since then, guys, that real breakout to 64, we have been a bit more condensed looking for that movement. And on the weekly, guys, we've seen a very strong base of 1871 hold up as some strong support as we kind of trended around that region and got that bounce. We're really battling between that 35 zone and that 18. 35 being the top, 18 being the bottom. This is the exact zone that we've been trending for a bit since that volatile move to around that $64 level. Built up that energy around that $18 level, got a nice movement right under that 35, came on in this descending wedge, broke out, got to that $35 level. And then since then, guys, we've held at that 22 rough area for a bit, trying to hold that, flush that, where we saw a short-term bearish sign, but then we go ahead and flip it back up, guys, get that bounce and trend back above now that $22 level. And that's the exact spot we're battling. So it's going to be important for the buyers to stay in that control, guys, and stay above that level so we can see some more bullish price action in the short-term period. All right, guys, so flipping back over to the daily time frame, we see that price got a bottom of 1993. So that's the zone that, we held up a little bit sharper than last time, that bottom being at 1871. And we've definitely seen a turn of the tide since hitting around that 2812 level, being that rejection spot, guys. After hitting that, no real answer from the buyers, doing roughly around 29% to the downside. We see get held up a little bit on that previous support being that 2249, the level we just crossed over. We could only hold it for around a week of price action. We quickly flush back under that and we get under that 2083. But quickly correct, guys, right? Hit that 1993 just below that level, around a dollar below, and quickly correct in 7 days of price action, getting back above that and getting back above 2249. So GameStop looking a little promising, guys, definitely for the short-term aspect of things. We've seen today pretty indecisive candle, a little bit of a long doji candle, right? Very thin body, showing no clear control, lots of selling pressure, lots of buying pressure, but we did close green. So we did close on the buyer's side just enough to go ahead and stay green on the day. We are holding above that 2249. So nice to see that that did respond quite reactive right when we try to get pulled down to that 2249 right on the hourly, a little bit better perspective. We see we try to get pulled down there and instantly on that same hourly candle, we see that correction. Sellers try to push it down again with the buyers holding a bit better at that zone. And then we go ahead and see continuation to 2337. And then before the day closes, we see considerable selling pressure at that zone, seeing 2 hourly candles with solid top wicks given that selling pressure and 2 solid red candles to the downside. But we are still in this mini ascending profile on the hourly time frame and still do look very bullish to the upside in the short-term aspect of things, with the bottom of 2249 being that previous support to go ahead and hold up. So definitely promising stuff here, guys. If you look at the overall market SPY, we have seen that big correction after around 3.5 weeks to the downside, almost to a month of price action, really seeing some trouble with buyers answering less than the sellers, right? False bounce here, and just continuation to the downside for a bit of time. And then in 1 week of price action, being a very historical Thanksgiving week, huge correction back up, getting right back to that zone where we were battling. Today we see a little bit of indecision here, guys, with this doji candle on the overall market, but holding up at a very solid spot. If we did get that pullback, probably would be seeing a pullback, only a little bit holding at these highs here. I think we really do stay in that ultimate control for the buyers. Statistically, guys, the beginning of December can give us a bit trouble, but then the second half of December is usually very bullish in the overall market, being one of the more bullish months towards the second half. So definitely something to be optimistic about in the medium term picture. I'll bring this up because GameStop's in a pivotal spot here, guys, to continue this movement, right? Holding that 2249, reclaiming that spot, as that was a very solid support level, really holding there after a drastic move to the downside. Very steep movement, huge gap down level, but we do hold up at that 2249, showing how reactive that spot was, which was a support even before then, guys. So we have plenty of data to go off of that being a very solid spot to hold up. We did flush it recently, but holding up very nicely on that spot, considering, the bit of back and forth that we saw today. Still closing green, guys, and definitely looking nice for the short term aspect of things with the price target of 24.45 in the short term and that ultimate reclaim of 27, which would put us in a better position to go ahead and retest those previous highs, that ceiling spot of this general structure that we're in being that 35. So we're obviously at the lower side of things right now, guys, but things are definitely ramping up here for GameStop in the short term period. And we could be seeing a nice move, guys, continuing up as long as the overall market is ripping and December is a good month. Definitely be seeing a reclaim of 27, if not that $29 level, guys, where that was a quick exit pathway. We see a lot of price action under that 29 and that general 18 being that more condensed structure. But past that, guys, that 29 to that 35, lots of up and lots of down. Not a ton of playing around between those zones. It's very likely that when we break that 29 and hold above it strongly, we do go ahead and test that 35. So as long as we could keep ripping for another month or so, guys, we could be in a good position to see some nice medium term upside for GameStop here, as well as the short term looking very solid as long as we stay above that 22.49. Or if the Bears did gain that control, you'd be looking at that quick reclaim, if not that padding of 20.83. But I think we definitely look good here, guys, to stay above that 22.49 level. So that'll do it for the GameStop stock analysis. Let me know your price predictions in the comments below, both short and long term, or any monthly predictions. If you guys enjoyed, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Don't miss an update for GameStop. And as always, guys, trade smart. I'll see you all in the next one.